Hola! Welcome back to another Spanish lesson with Senor Geis. In this video, we're going to be talking about yo-go verbs. And yo-go verbs are basically a small set of irregular verbs in present tense that when you conjugate them in the yo form, they all happen to end in go. There's not necessarily a specific different or special meaning for yo-go verbs. They just have a similar form. So the yo-go verbs we're going to be talking about in this video are tener, which means to have, venir, which means to come, poner, which means to put, place, or set, salir, which means to go out, leave, or exit, hacer, which means to do or make, decir, which means to say or tell, traer, which means to bring or take, and caer, which means to fall. So our first one is tener. You may or may not already know this one. And it's important to know that tener is an E to IE stem changing verb. So when we conjugate it, we're going to, first of all, skip the yo form because we're going to come back to that at the end, since that's what we want to talk about. But all the other forms you can conjugate regularly. So since it's a stem changer, we're going to say tú tienes, él tiene, nosotros tenemos, vosotros tenéis. Don't stem change those two. And finally, ellos tienen. They have, with the stem change because that's in the boot. So the yo form, as I said before, is a yo-go in the yo-go verbs is going to be irregular, and tener, you wouldn't guess, but it in the yo form is tengo. So tengo means I have. An example would be yo tengo un libro, I have a book. Venir is pretty similar to tener in that it is a stem changing verb from E to IE. Just be careful because it is an IR verb and not an ER verb. So if we conjugate it in all the forms except for the yo form, we're going to say tú vienes, él viene, nosotros venimos, vosotros venís, and ellos vienen. In the yo form, it's irregular in that it has a go at the end. So yo vengo is the yo form. So for example, yo vengo a casa, I come home. Poner means put, place, or set. And this one is not a stem changer. It's real easy to conjugate in all the forms except for the yo form. Can do that easily. Tú pones, él pone, nosotros ponemos, vosotros ponéis, ellos ponen. And in the yo form, it's irregular in that it has a go. So we will say not yo pono, but yo pongo, I put. Yo pongo la comida en la mesa, I put the food on the table. Salir, another real easy regular yo-go verb. Tú sales, él sale, nosotros salimos, vosotros salís, ellos salen. But the yo form has a go at the end, so we say yo salgo, I leave. So for example, yo salgo del avión, I leave the airplane. Hacer means to do and to make, and easy to conjugate. Tú haces, él hace, nosotros hacemos, vosotros hacéis, ellos hacen. And in the yo form, we're going to have an irregular form, and we're actually going to get rid of the C and add the G instead and say yo hago, I do. So for example, you could say yo hago un taco, I make a taco. Decir means to say or tell. So when we're doing this one, it's important to remember that it's an E to I stem changer. So when we conjugate it in the tú form, we say tú dices, ella dice. Don't stem change in nosotros and vosotros, so we have decimos and decís. But then in the ellos form, we are going to stem change and say dicen. The yo form is irregular with a G, so we say yo digo, I say, or tell. So I could say, yo digo un secreto a mis amigos, I tell a secret to my friends. Traer means to bring or take. And this is a regular verb, so we can easily conjugate it. Tú traes, ella trae, nosotros traemos, vosotros traéis, and ellos traen. Yo form going to have a G, and with this one we're actually also going to add an I in front of the G, so we're going to say yo traigo, I bring. So for example, yo traigo un pastel a la fiesta, I bring a cake to the party. Caer is very similar to traer in that it's totally regular. Tú caes, ella cae, nosotros caemos, vosotros caéis, ellos caen. But then in the yo form, we add the G-O at the end, and we also add an I, just like traer. So yo caigo means I fall. My example here is yo caigo de mi cama, I fall out of my bed. Yo-go verbs. So in summary, All of these verbs end in go when you conjugate them in the yo form, and that is really the only irregular thing about them. And they are tener, which means to have. It's also a stem changer from e to ie, and the yo form is tengo. Venir, also a stem changer, e to ie, means to come. The yo form is vengo. Poner means to put, place, or set, and the yo form is pongo. Salir means to go out, leave, or exit, and the yo form is salgo. Hacer means to do or make, and the yo form is hago. Decir is a stem changing verb from e to I, and it means to say and tell, and the yo form is digo. Traer means to bring or take, and the yo form is traigo. Caer means to fall, and the yo form is caigo. Notice that caer and traer both add an I before that G in addition to the G.